Please remain standing to observe 2 minutes of silence in commemoration of those who have sacrificed their lives to safeguard the sovereignty and the integrity of the motherland.
Thank you.
Without further ado, let me now invite the President of Technical Sciences and Management Society, Sweta Costa, to deliver the welcome address.
A very good evening to all distinguished guests. The Chief Guest, Rear Admiral HGU Dhammika Kumara, Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kothawala Defence University. The Guest of Honor, Mr. Nadun Mendes, Director of Group Sourcing and Supply Chain of MAS Holdings. Major General C.A. Vikramasinghe, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Defence and Administration. Professor K.A.S. Dhammika, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic. Panelists, Deans of Faculties, Registrar of KDU, Heads of Departments, Academia, Military Officers, invitees, and my fellow friends. A warm welcome to the annual KDU Logistics Day 2024, hosted by the Technical Sciences Management Society of General Sir John Kothawala Defence University. I'm Sweta Costa, and it is truly an honor to address the distinguished gathering as the president of the club. The Logistics Day is considered as one of the important events in our KDU calendar due to the significant legacy it carries. This year, we are launching the 9th edition of our Logistics Times magazine, reaching a significant milestone in the KDU history. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to highlight the theme of our event, Classroom to Boardroom, Empowering Future Supply Chain Leaders. Through this much anticipated launch of the latest issue of Logistics Times magazine, this theme resonates deeply with our mission to bridge the gap between academic learning and practical, real-world application in the field of logistics and supply chain management. Further, the transition from classroom theories to boardroom strategies is a journey that we at KDU are committed in supporting always. It is evident through the audience present today, graduates of KDU have distinguished themselves as influential leaders in various industries. The foundation of their exceptional skills, innovative thinking, and dedication were first identified and nurtured within the walls of this fine institution. This university is committed to ensuring a seamless transition from classroom to the boardroom, guaranteeing a success in the industry for our young future leaders. Additionally, for the first time ever, the grand launch of KDU Student Chapter will be adding a new touch to the traditional annual Logistics Day. I'm delighted to see such a diverse and enthusiastic group of participants here today. Your presence is a testament to the growing interest and importance of logistics in our globalized economy. Whether you are a student aspiring to build a career in logistics, a professional seeking to expand your knowledge, or an academic contributing to the cutting-edge research, your participation enriches this event. I would like to extend a special welcome to our esteemed speakers, panelists who have joined us today. Your expertise and insights are invaluable, and we are very grateful your willingness to share your knowledge and experience with us. A special welcome goes out to the students present here today. This theme holds a special significance as you transition from the classroom to the professional world, understanding the practical applications of your studies. The logistics and supply chain field is dynamic, requiring a blend of theoretical knowledge and practical skills. Today's discussions are designed to bridge this gap, providing insights that will prepare you for real-world challenges. The journey from classroom to boardroom is always straightforward. But with the right tools and mindset, you make significant strides. This event is stepping stone towards the goal, offering you the opportunity to learn from industry experts, ask questions, and gain a deeper understanding of logistics landscape. A heartfelt thank you to the Executive Committee and Board of Directors and all the committee members whose tireless efforts have made Logistics Day 2024 possible. Your dedication and hard work behind the scenes ensure that we can all enjoy a seamless and enriching experience that's about to embark. A special thanks goes out to my parents for continuously supporting me throughout this journey and throughout my university life. Without further ado, I wish you all a productive and inspiring Logistics Day 2024. May this event not only enhance but also inspire us to contribute to the advancement of the future logistics industry. Thank you, and once again, a warm welcome to all of you.
Thank you, Sweta. Dance is a prayer of the feet. So let this dance be our way of welcoming you all to this event.
විමනින් වැසනාරිය සෝබන රඟමින් ඇස් චාමර තාලෙට වයමින් ඇය ගයමින් සමවෙන් බලමින් නෙත් සලුවෙන් රහසෙන් දානම් දම්නෙ දානම් 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 දම්නෙ දානම් 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 දම්නෙ දානම් 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 දම්නෙ දානම් දානම් පිළිතුරන් පත විල්තර බෙම්බර සංස්කෘත අංගන ලංකෘත රිද්මට රස්සද සුන්දර නිම්කර සිත්තරු සක්වල සිත්තරු ඇස්පොත විශ්මිත පර්වත දර්පණ මෝහන නාමික ධාරණ ලිපිත අද්දර නැලවෙන සිත්තරු සක්වල ලොල් බඩවන මෙමලෙ වරුණ නැත බෝ අය දන්නේ මල් පෙති වට කර සුර අඟනකි එහි උපදින්නේ සිල් රකිනා කමසුන් ඒ කල නැත එහි ඉන්නේ නාරි ලතා මේ කෝලම සබයේ නටමින්නේ ලොල් බඩවන මෙමලෙ වරුණ නැත බෝ අය දන්නේ මල් පෙති වට කර සුර අඟනකි එහි උපදින්නේ සිල් රකිනා කමසුන් ඒ කල නැත එහි ඉන්නේ නාරි ලතා මේ කෝලම සබයේ නටමින්නේ
Once in a while, someone comes along and changes everything. At MAS, anyone can be that someone. We're a worldwide family of thousands, all striving towards one goal. Striving for better in all we do. To be the change makers. Now it may not look like much, but this is how it all began. A thread that creates change for better, enabling dreams and enriching the fabric of life. Carrying the values of our founders, it is woven through everything we do. From world-class design and craft to world-class innovation. A thread that grows stronger with each new employee, weaving together new ideas and fresh outlooks. The fabric of a brighter future with ambitious minds, helping us achieve growth and transformation. A thread that enables communities and environments to thrive. A thread that runs through every single one of us at MAS. We are change makers. We will be defined not by our words, but by what we do, through the choices we make and the people we inspire, providing opportunities for everybody, woven into the fabric of life. It all starts with you.
Why MAS, you ask?
Well, because here at MAS, you do not just follow a career path, but forge ahead on the journey of life itself. You seize opportunities that span the globe.
Across a multitude of disciplines. Here, you grow as a person
and as a professional.
You reap the benefits of the rewards that are linked to your performance on the job.
and the value you bring to MAS.
Here, you will find the elusive balance between work and life. This is where your passions are ignited.
Your talents amplified and your family and friends are not sacrificed.
Here at MAS, we are recognized as one of the region's most innovative organizations.
One of the best places in the world to work for innovators.
Creative and progressive.
Our future fluent group of companies has grown in the face of unimaginable challenges.
Thanks to our global presence
And our inspired, passionate people.
Here at MAS, our diverse teams are inclusive and as socially responsible as you. And like you, we believe in driving change,
Crafting our destiny
And enriching the fabric of life on our planet.
You are,
And together,
we are
change makers.
You don't just join MAS, you live MAS.
Sri Lanka is a land like no other. It's a space for family, a base for futures, a haven for nature. It's our home and it's provided us with so much, which is why we at Nestle come together to protect and uplift it in every way, on every single day. It starts with being there for our families. With the nation facing micronutrient deficiencies, we are leveraging our portfolio that spans from birth to old age to provide 537 million servings of fortified products. And due to the high prevalence of non-communicable disease, we are inspiring 3.5 million people on nutrition and healthy lifestyles through our Nestle Family Club, and encouraging thousands more through our Nutri-Corners, Nestle Healthy Kids, and sponsored sporting events. It continues to nurturing our communities. With over a quarter of Sri Lanka's workforce heavily reliant on the agricultural sector, we are supporting the livelihoods of rural dairy farmers through procurement worth 4.3 billion rupees, and local coconut farmers with procurement worth 5 billion rupees. We also empower the rural community through the Nestle Coconut Plan, offering home grows free hybrid plantlets and training. And when our country faced multiple crises that stole years from the younger generation, we are giving our youth access to learnings, engagements, and opportunities through Nestle Needs Youth, whilst also enhancing employability through our professional trainee programs. And then it leads to stewarding resources for our future. We are one of the pioneers to work towards reaching net zero from farm to end of shelf life. When it comes to sourcing, we were the first to conduct the carbon footprint verification from the Sri Lanka Climate Fund for both our dairy and coconut value chains. Our teams work closely with our dairy farmers on getting the best output to increase yield per cow whilst adopting regenerative farming practices. We are also working with the Coconut Research Institute and Coconut Cultivation Board to introduce regenerative agricultural practices for our coconut farms. We are also prioritizing energy-efficient logistics, improving our vehicle fill rate, optimizing route networks, and trialing alternate transportation methods. And when the rest of the island still runs on energy from fossil fuels, we are proud to be utilizing 100% renewable electricity for our manufacturing. Whilst adopting greener manufacturing practices, we have also invested in a biomass boiler to significantly reduce our energy consumption. Supported further through our packaging initiatives to promote a circular economy, we pioneered the shift from plastic to paper straws. We are reducing the use of virgin plastics and making progress in ensuring that our packaging is designed for recycling. We also helped set up Sri Lanka's first recycling plant for aseptic beverage cartons and partnered with Chakrasutra, Insay EcoCycle and Eco Maximus to accelerate the collection of our Tetra Paks. But it doesn't end there. To inspire island-wide behavioral change, we are collaborating with the Ministry of Education and Central Environment Authority on the School Waste Management Program, reaching 750,000 children across 1,000 schools. While this is a journey that has always been about doing good, the recognition we've earned along the way shows us that we've been doing good right. We've consistently been the #1 food and beverage company in Sri Lanka and have been awarded by numerous forums and panels for the work we've done. There is no end to this journey, no ultimate goal, no stopping point. We won't always be perfect, and we know there will be more challenges ahead. But this is how we will keep going, with an unwavering commitment to bettering our country. Because we are Nestle, and this is our Sri Lanka. My Nestle, my Sri Lanka.
We extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed sponsors for their invaluable support in making this event a grand success. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, MAS, gold sponsor, Nestle, bronze sponsor, HIPJ, Yokohama TWS Lanka, and gift sponsor, Insi Cement.
We stand here today as sons and daughters of this prestigious icon. As he always reminds us, KDU is our home, and it always has a special place for those who are willing to give it back to the country as much as they have benefited from it. Let me now take this honor to invite with great respect our chief guest, Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kotalawala Defence University, Rear Admiral HDU Dhammika Kumara, VSV, USP, PSc, and Maritime Paul, BSc Defence Studies, to address the gathering.
Guest of honor, Mr. Nadun Mendis, Director Group of Sourcing and Supply Chain, distinguished panelists, Deputy Vice Chancellor Academics, Deans of the faculties, Directors, HODs, Academia, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Let me start by wise words of most famous military strategist, Sun Tzu once said, I quote, "The line between order and disorder lies in logistics," I unquote. With this, I consider it is an honor and a privilege to be here today as the chief guest for the 9th Logistic Day of General Sir John Kotalawala Defence University, an annual event proudly hosted by the Technical Sciences and Management Society of the Department of Management and Finance of the Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the organizers for inviting me to this significant event, which brings together some of the brightest minds and future leaders in the field of logistics and supply chain management. Ladies and gentlemen, completion of 9 years of KDU Logistics Day is undoubtedly a remarkable achievement. The theme of this year's Logistic Day, From Classroom to Boardroom, Empowering Future Supply Chain Leaders, is both timely and crucial. It summarizes the journey of knowledge and skills, development of academic learning to real-world application, and the transformation from students to industry leaders. In the era of rapidly evolving global economy, the role of supply chain leaders have never been more crucial. Therefore, they are the backbone of industries, ensuring the seamless flow of goods and services and driving innovation and efficiency. My dear ladies and gentlemen and students, as a military officer, I consider it's appropriate to highlight the role of military logistics in warfare for your knowledge. Military logistics has played at least an equal important role throughout the history in this realm of societal activity. Soldiers and their machines cannot fight without constant supplies at places most of you will never visit. Throughout the history, many military leaders had not realized the essence of importance of logistics and failed to appreciate its impact on the battlefield. They paid dearly for their negligence. George Washington in the American War of Independence, Napoleon in Spain and Russia, Field Marshal Montgomery in World War II, and General MacArthur in Korean War are just a few examples of commanders who excelled in combat planning and execution, whose disregards of logistic results in a grave operational consequences and loss of the lives of too many soldiers. In Sri Lankan context, military logistics and supply chain management were pivotal in achieving victory during the last 30 years long conflict in our country. The ability to maintain steady flow of supplies, ensuring mobility, develop infrastructure, and integrate technology and coordination efforts were instrumental in overcoming the numerous challenges faced at that time. The success of military operations hinged on the effectiveness of logistics, demonstrating that well-planned and executed supply chains are as crucial as combat strategies in warfare. The lessons learned from these operations continue to inform military logistics practices worldwide, highlighting the indispensable role of logistics in achieving strategic and operational objectives. Therefore, military logistics and supply chain management are critical component of any warfare. They ensure that the troops the necessary supplies, equipment, and support to sustain their respective operations. In the military context, before the modern era, logistics was considered the practical art of moving armies. Back then, war was about huge numbers of soldiers and basic disconnected technologies. Military scientists start to realize the importance of logistics to enact strategies and tactics. With technological advances, war and military logistics have co-evolved. In our era, logistics is still defined as the science of planning and carrying out the movements and maintenance of forces. Yet it has come to encompass several independent activities geared toward the people and weapon systems. Even in the era of cyber and information warfare, logistics remains relevant with respect to human warfighting and physical resources. While logistics enables commercial businesses to outperform competitors on service and cost, that is a focus on profitability, the objective of military logistics is to comply to the best compromise regarding users' demands with the acceptable cost and capital use. The perspective of military logistics comprises both war and peacetime logistics and support to on and offshore operations, planned or unplanned. It must be established, organized, and run lines of supply such as armies can move and fight, including real-life support and maintenance. Similarly, with the advent of advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the Internet of Things have revolutionized logistics and supply chain management. These technologies have improved efficiency, accuracy, and transparency, allowing for real-time tracking, predictive analytics, and better decision-making. Further, the globalization of supply chains have increased their complexity, necessitating more sophisticated logistic strategies, not only for public and private sectors, but for the military sector too. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride I state that intake 29 to intake 37, spanning 9 intakes, the Department of Management and Finance has produced many valuable assets for the industry. Our own KDU graduates now hold managerial positions in leading organizations both locally and internationally, and some serve as academics at KDU and other universities, showcasing their classroom to boardroom journey. This success has driven the constant demand for departments 2 degrees programs, Bachelor of Science in Logistic Management and Bachelor of Science in Management and Technical Sciences. This event has been organized by the dedicated undergraduates of Intake 39 with the support of Intake 40. And this event showcases the collective efforts and talents of our students. In preparation for today's event, our students have enhanced their essential management skills, including effective communication, time management, teamwork, leadership, and innovative thinking. Under the guidance of our esteemed lecturers, they have undertaken every aspect of this event, thoughtfully planning and executing each detail to ensure its success. Their dedication and expertise have been instrumental in bringing this event to a realization. We recognize and acknowledge their efforts. Today's theme is crucial to ensure the development of capable leaders to navigate the complexities equipped in an ever-evolving global landscape. Additionally, I am pleased to announce that our students are in the process of publishing the 9th edition of Logistics Times magazine. The responsibilities taken by our students, such as scheduling appointments with industry experts, coordinating with sponsors, conducting interviews, writing articles, and overseeing the publication processes, have been useful for them towards achieving key graduate attributes. This initiative also fosters industry collaborations, providing students with invaluable experience and shorten the time it takes them to secure their first employment. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the successful generals of the French Revolution armies, Napoleon, once said, I quote, "A real knowledge of supply and movements factors must be the basis of every leader's plan. One then can know how and when to take risk with other factors, and battles are won by taking risks." I unquote. Dear friends, to succeed in this rapidly evolving logistics and supply chain industry, it is crucial to embrace continuous learning, staying updated with the latest trends and technologies. Developing a strategic mindset is essential, understanding broader business context and aligning supply chain decisions with organizational goals. Leadership skills, including communication, negotiation, and team management, are vital in inspire and guide teams effectively. Embracing technology and innovation such as AI and blockchain can provide a competitive edge while integrating sustainable practices into supply chain strategies is imperative for environmental responsibility and regulatory compliances. In conclusion, KDU Logistic Day serves as a very effective platform that enables students to gain industry exposure and to develop professional and soft skills before starting their careers. In this juncture, I would pay my sincere gratitude to the guests of honor for the event, Mr. Nadun Mendis, and the distinguished panelists, Mr. Ranjit Pereira, Head of Demand and Supply Planning, Nestle Lanka, and Mr. Nisal Vijayaratna, Business Analyst, Fourth Scope, and former alumnus of KDU Intake 31st, for being with us today amidst their busy schedules to share their wisdom with our students. I also wish to express my gratitude to the sponsors and all our distinguished guests for their immense support rendered to the success of Logistics Day. I would also to thank the Dean, HODs, academia, and non-academic staff of the Faculty of Management, Social Sciences, and Humanities for guiding our students engaged in organizing the Logistics Day of the University. Finally, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude for the outstanding success of our students and wish them good luck in their future endeavors. Wish you all a pleasant evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring words, and we are truly grateful for your presence today. Next in line, please welcome Mr. Nadun Mendes, the Director of Group Sourcing and Supply Chain at MAS Capital, to address the gathering.
Good evening. The Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kothalavala Defence University, Riyadh Admiral HGU Dhammika Kumara, esteemed faculty, representative from fellow corporate partners, and dear students. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today, addressing the bright minds that will shape the future of our supply chains. The world of logistics and supply chain management is evolving at an unprecedented pace. With the advent of technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and blockchain, the industry is undergoing a significant transformation. It is you, the future leaders of this industry, who will be at the forefront of this revolution as change makers. The supply chain is no longer just about moving goods from point A to point B. That's more traditional. But is actually the backbone of global trade and commerce, and is all about creating value to our brands, to our consumers, to companies, as well as improving efficiency and promoting sustainability. It's about understanding the global market dynamics and making strategic decisions that could either make or break companies. With the recent changes in the global landscape, there's so much of change happening, and especially during the recent past, especially with during the pandemic, the economic recessions, significant changes to freight rates, lead times. Even as we speak, we know that there are like millions of dollars of cargo that is held in Singapore ports. The Red Sea crisis, wars, political unrest, supply chain and logistics management has become so much more important than ever before. Actually, the supply chain professionals' worth has significantly gone up in the recent past because it's that much more important for any organization. As future leaders, you are not just expected to adapt these changes, but to lead and to drive them. You will be the ones who will leverage these technologies to create more efficient, resilient, and sustainable supply chains. You will be the ones to ensure that businesses can deliver their promises to their customers. As you navigate through your academic journey and beyond into careers, remember that while technical skills and knowledge are essential, it's the soft skills that often set exceptional professionals apart. I was talking more on the classroom side of business, on the supply chain side of it, but if you really look at from a classroom to the boardroom, there are certain soft skills that are needed, leadership skills that are needed, interpersonal skills that are needed for you to excel. And if we talk a bit more in general, I'm pretty sure all of y'all would want to excel and grow in your careers, right? You just don't want to be like mediocre, you want to excel, you want to achieve greatness. In any organization, aspiring to stand out or achieve excellence requires actively initiative and driving meaningful change. There's a saying that goes, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you'll always got. If you do what you always done, you'll get what you'll always got. So if you want to achieve something different, and if you really want to go beyond the normal boundaries and to achieve exceptional results, you must be prepared to foster meaningful change. However, there's a significant hurdle that often holds us back from initiating that change. It's not about our capabilities, it's not about our knowledge, it's not about our skills, it's the fear of failure. This is one thing that is affecting most of the people from going beyond. That once we try to do that change, that we will fail, or will we fail? Whenever we contemplate something different, new, or something outside our normal comfort zone, we always get this thought, right? What if I fail? Well, it's not the failure itself that is a problem, but that anxiety whether I will succeed or not. And generally, based on my experience, 90% of the people with that thought will stop and will not go further. You have all the capabilities, you have all the knowledge, but you're scared to do something different and initiate something different. Only 10% of people will take that challenge, take that risk, and move forward. So it's a question that whether you want to be in that 90% or whether you want to be in that 10%. Overcoming this fear of failure is essential for personal growth and success. It allows us to open ourselves to new opportunities, creativity, and to build that confidence to pursue our dreams. And if there is one habit that you want to start developing to really achieve greater heights, let it be to overcome the fear of failure. And the only way, so there is no easy way out, the only way that you can do it is actually consciously force yourself to just do it. And take every opportunity to force yourself to practice it whenever you get that opportunity, so it becomes a habit. So in conclusion, the world of supply chain and logistics is a very dynamic, fast-paced, and full of possibilities. And you all have the potential to become exceptional leaders in the supply chain industry. I'm excited to see where your journey takes you and how you will shape the future of supply chain. I wish you all the very best in your academic journeys and future careers. All the very best and good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Nadun, for enlightening us with your valuable thoughts. It's an honor to have you here on this special day.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great excitement that we gather today to celebrate a momentous occasion in academic journey. The launching of our student chapters dedicated to logistics management and technical sciences. This initiative aligns perfectly with the theme of this year's Logistics Day, From Classroom to Boardroom, Empowering Future Supply Chain Leaders. Our aim is to increase literacy and foster a comprehensive understanding of logistics, ensuring that every member of our community, from lecturers and instructors to students, benefits immensely. This chapter will serve as a platform for collaborative learning, professional development, and innovative research, allowing us to bridge the gap between theoretical knowledge and practical application.
By participating, students will gain invaluable insights, hands-on experience, and the opportunity to interact with the industry leaders, positioning themselves as the future pioneers of the supply chain and as well as in the management industry. Together, we will uplift our department, making it a standout entity within the university, known for its commitment to excellence and in leadership in logistic and management education. Let us embark on this exciting journey, united in our goal to empower and inspire the next generation of supply chain and management professionals.
I would like to invite Professor K.S. Dhammika, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, accompanied by the Chief Editor, Dr. U.G. Rajapaksha, and Ms. Netmilianage, one of the working committee members, to launch the first student chapter.
Vice Chancellor.
Vice Chancellor.
Thank you, sir. In addition, you all can view the e-version of the student chapters via the displayed QR code.
Now we have come to an exciting moment where we are ready to award certificates for overall best academic performances.
To announce the winners, I would like to invite Senior Lecturer, Department of Management and Finance, Dr. Namali Sirisoma. To give away the awards, I would like to invite Vice Chancellor, Rear Admiral H.G. Udamika Kumara, accompanied by Dean of Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities, Dr. Lakshika Liyanage, and Head of the Department, Department of Management and Finance, Dr. Pali Rajapaksha.
Dear sir and ladies and gentlemen, there were 16 articles submitted for the students chapter and 13 were shortlisted after double-blind peer review. The final 3 were selected from through a viva done by a panel members from KDU. The third place goes to the title Education as a Strategic Source in Human Capital. Implications for Logistics Transformation by BLHR Liyanagi. Lecturer in charge, Ms. D.D. Lokuge. second place goes to Navigating the Impact of the Red Sea Crisis on Colombo Port of Sri Lanka by TNA Handalage, PS Vikramage, SS Vikramage, WDD Tatsarani. Lecturer in charge, Dr. LCI Sigera. Instructor in charge, Ms. H.S. Karunatilaka. The winner of the Students Chapter Article Competition is C.A. Galewalage. The research title is The Digital Revolution in Urban Logistics. Lecturer in charge, Mr. Anju Ilangasekara. Instructor in charge, Ms. H.S. Karunatilaka. Thank you, sir.
The Logistic Day of General Sir John Kotalawala Defence University is not just another mere event, but also a milestone as we launch the editions of Sri Lanka's first logistic magazine, Logistic Times. Dedication has no limits. If not for the commitment, dedication, and hard work of our editorial committees over the years and this year as well, we won't be able to proudly present to you this year's magazine. Let us now take time to hear from our editor, Kevin Pereira, on behalf of the editorial committee of the 9th edition of Logistic Times.
A very good evening to all distinguished guests. Rear Admiral HGU Dhammika Kumara, Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kotalawala Defence University. Guest of Honor, Mr. Nadu Mendes, Director of Group Sourcing and Supply Chain at MAS Holdings. Major General C.A. Vikramasinghe, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Defence and Administration. Professor K.A.S. Dhammika, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academics. panelists, deans of the faculties, registrar of KDU, heads of departments, academia, military officers, invitees, and students. It's a great honor and privilege for me to address you at this most prestigious event, the KDU Logistics Day 2024. The Logistics Times is Sri Lanka's first ever logistics magazine, and I am most honored to have been given the opportunity of being the editor of its 9th edition. The road to publishing the Logistics Times has always been tedious, but a journey of learning and growth with new obstacles to cross, and this year has been no exception. The launch of the Logistics Times would not have been a reality if not for the undying and collective efforts of the undergraduates from Intake 39 and Intake 40. In this effort, the theme for the KDU Logistics Day 2024, From Classroom to Boardroom, Empowering Future Supply Chain Leaders, was woven together with insights from both academic and industrial professionals in creating an industry-relevant topic of discussion for the KDU Logistics Day 2024. We delve into the synergy between university-based education and corporate industry expertise, enriched by invaluable advice from both industry professionals and military personnel. Our undergraduates have conducted insightful interviews and contributed articles alongside corporate leaders, lecturers, and undergraduates of intakes 39 and 40, and invited undergraduates and graduates from parallel universities. I take this opportunity to extend my sincere gratitude to all corporate partners for their generosity and for dedicating time of their busy schedules to ensure that our magazine reaches its fullest potential. A special acknowledgement goes out to Rear Admiral XGU Dhammika Kumara, Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kodalal Defence University, Major General C.A. Wickramasinghe, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Defence and Administration, Professor K.S. Dhammika, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, Dr. Lakshika Liyanagi, Dean of the Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities, Dr. Upali Rajapaksa, Head of the Department of Management and Finance, Dr. Kalpana Bepitiya, Dr. Namli Sirisoma, Dr. Sabine Sharik, Ms. I.D. Vattuheva, Mr. Lahiru Gunathilaka, Mr. Anjali Langasekara, Mr. Arjuna Vishwanath, Ms. Chamila Kotalavala, and all other key figures of the faculty who have guided along us this enriching journey. I also want to thank the editorial committee members for their unwavering commitment and enthusiasm. Special thanks to our assistant editor, Rashmi Pereira, for her steadfast and unwavering support throughout this whole journey, which is undoubtedly evident on each and every page. The executive committee of TSMS has been a constant source of encouragement, and I am deeply grateful for the guidance provided by our senior colleagues. Despite the challenges including time constraints, each committee member has given their very best to ensure the smooth flow of tasks. A heartfelt thank you goes out to Sweta Costa, the president of TSMS, for her invaluable leadership in guiding the society to its success and making this magazine a proud product of the Department of Management and Finance. A special thanks goes out to the Dream Creative Solutions, the chief designer of the Logistics Times, for giving the magazine a creative touch. Despite the crucial challenges we faced, their ability to implement the best quality under an extremely restricted time frame undoubtedly shows their remarkable and exceptional designing skills. I am extremely grateful to the Executive Committee and the Board of Directors of the TSMS for being a constant source of encouragement and support. We are ever grateful to Dunal Bandulaheva, the immediate past president of TSMS, and Tehani Pereira, the editor of the 8th edition of the Logistics Times, and all senior colleagues for giving us their guidance right throughout. Finally, I express my sincere gratitude for my mother for giving me the fullest support to achieve this dream. Thank you and have a pleasant evening.
Thank you, Kevin. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come to witness the grand launch of the 9th edition of Sri Lanka's first logistics magazine, Logistic Times. If I am to talk about the journey of our magazine, it was first initiated by our seniors from Intake 31 in 2016. Since then, until now, it has been a long, rocky road. Let us all admire the untiring efforts of the editorial committee and all the members of the Technical Sciences and Management Society with the presentation of the magazine to the Vice Chancellor. I would like to invite the Vice Chancellor, Rear Admiral H.G. Udamika Kumara, accompanied by the Dean, Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities, Dr. Lakshika Liyanage, and Head of the Department of Management and Finance, Dr. Pali Rajapaksha, for the launching of the magazine.
Thank you, sir. In addition, an announcement to all enthusiastic viewers. The e-version of the magazine will now be available on the university website www.kdu.ac.lk. And also you can view via the displayed QR code.
Dancing is a poem of which each movement is a word. With that, let's move on to our next entertainment item, which will be a performance by our very own KDU dance troupe.
මෝදුවන ලෝචනා ස්වප්නමත මානාරීරු මෝරනා प्रेमයට කාරණා රාගමන ආසේම පාවී ගියා සියාගෙන හැරුණට සිත්නහසේ ආශාමවා දෙවුලියේ මනවන්දනා පෙම්කවයි රසකෙන්දනා ඉසියෝගමන නන්දනා සඳදී ඉඟි වස්සනා තෙවුලොවින් ඇය ඉල්ලලා කෛලාශගිරී වන්දනා
शोभन गंगा वही वियाले हंगा डैसिंग पाना ही सरयवा मकरंदे सारे खिलवा आशा वे मासित दलवा सेयावन बगे मंगसेवा पाया विसंद उमरे एया में करो एंबरे रुधारी वन बंगरे मन कलबिला रंगना रुधारी वन बंगरे मन कलबिला रंगना रुधारी वन बंगरे मन कलबिला रंगना हर साराई दे पसे पेना मन साराई ना दे ऐसे ना मंगा सही ने लंबेना
We have now reached to another most important event, which is the panel discussion with the focus on the various aspects: re-engineering supply chain towards sustainability, assuring survival and coexistence. Without further ado, to introduce the topic, which will certainly be elaborated by the experts in the industry, let me introduce our panelists and the moderator for this session. Panelists, Mr. Nadun Mendes, the Director of Group Sourcing and Supply Chain at MAS Capital, and has years of experience in the field of supply chain management by holding numerous positions over the years. With his extensive experience and expertise, he continues to drive excellence and innovation in the industry.
Next, we have Mr. Rajat Pereira, the Head of Demand and Supply Planning at Nestle Lanka. His strategic vision and leadership have been pivotal in optimizing supply chain operations, ensuring efficiency and growth.
Next, Mr. Nisal Vijayaratna, working as a business analyst at Freightoscope, who has made significant strides in the field of logistic and business analysis. With a remarkable track record, he is a proud member of KDU Intake 31, who has previously served as the past president of Logistic Day as well, as he played a key role as the former student member in the launch of the first edition of Logistic Time magazine.
And the moderator of the evening, Dr. H. Shabin Sharik, Senior Lecturer, Department of Management and Finance, of Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities. We would cordially invite you all to the stage.
So, pleasant good evening to everybody, and pleasant good evening to the panelists. So, to introduce this panel discussion and the objectives of this panel discussion. So, most of our students are about to go to the industry, and they are now in the organizers of this event are about to go to the industry, and there are some upcoming 2 more years for the others to pass out from this university. So, aligning with our KDU Logistics Day 2024's theme on classroom to boardroom, empowering future supply chain leaders. So, we have brought down 3 eminent panelists ranging from global sourcing, demand planning, supply chain, and next person from global sourcing, and the third person is from our own product, who has been the pioneer in organizing or implementing this Logistics Times magazine, and he was one of our Logistics Day presidents as well. So moving on to the first questions, I would like to turn to Mr. Nadun Mendis, who is the Director, Group Sourcing and Supply Chain, RM and Non-RM at MAS Capital. So our students are eagerly waiting, and they also want to become a person like you all on their careers. So can you elaborate how was your journey from a classroom like that what they are right now and to a boardroom where you are leading a group? So how was your journey? And in addition, what are the things that you feel that the knowledge and the skills and the attitude that you possessed that brought you to this higher position? Over to you.
Thanks, Sharik. Sure. So first of all, thank you so much for inviting me here. It's a pleasure to be here. And thank you so much once again, Sharik, and thanks for the question. So talking about my journey, I think I've over the last many years, I've started as a planning executive at MAS Active at one of the MAS clusters. And over a period of 12 years time, I was able to, I got the opportunity to move into a different cluster as a director, planning and strategy for MAS Fabrics cluster. And 2 years after, I was able to get into a group role in giving leadership to the group sourcing and supply chain for MAS Holdings. And the journey has been remarkable. I think I'm privileged, and it has been an honor to work for a company like MAS who goes that extra mile in developing, nurturing its people, as well as giving that opportunity to be your best and recognizing based on performance, not based on years of experience. I think that journey has been remarkable. And that journey, I would say, is similar to like a roller coaster ride, where it has had its own ups and downs. But the important thing is I've enjoyed that journey and enjoyed that ride. I've celebrated the ups and I've learned from the downs. And actually the downs, which are the challenges, problems, failures, are the biggest things that I've cherished in life, which has really made me stronger and has made me better. So I think more than the successes, the failures are the ones that will really strengthen you and really make you better. So the other question that you asked was, what are the skills, competencies, things that help me be better, be successful? I think it's a mix of a lot of things, Sharik. The leaders that have helped me, the teams that I've worked with, has been an integral part of my success. And at the same time, all the academic knowledge, the trainings, the skills, all of that are important for you to excel in life. But I think there are two very key things, very important things that actually stands out, which differentiates you from an average person to someone better, which helps you to reach excellence. And those two are actually passion and attitude. I think these two are very important things in life. You may have all the knowledge of the world, you may have all the skills of the world, but if you don't have the passion to drive, if you're lethargic, and if your heart is not at the right place, you will not succeed. And sometimes what we see is like when your heart is not at the right place, you don't have the right attitude, you will use all your knowledge to justify and bring 101 excuses as to why you can't do something, why you can't find a solution for a problem. So this passion and attitude is something that is really important. And when I talk about passion and attitude, there are three things that I hold very dearly to myself, to my heart, which has really helped me to be who I am today. And those three things that I perceive in life, which I hope will help you as well. And I'm honored to share it with you all as well. So the first thing is I'm someone who really believes that nothing is impossible. It's just a matter of finding the right way to make things possible. I think it's very easy to say nothing is impossible, but the second part is the most difficult part. just a matter of finding that right way to make things possible is not easy. That's where the passion really needs. You really want to put your heart and soul out in finding how to make it possible. And the second thing that is also very important is when you actually try to make this change. I talked about fear of failure earlier. People will say, you can't do this, it's very difficult. We have done that for 10 years, but it has not been successful. It's really important for you to believe in yourself. Because if you don't, no one else will. Always try to understand what are your strengths, because don't get too hung about your weaknesses. Of course, be mindful what your weaknesses are, develop them, make them better, but always try to play to your strengths, and that will help you to and believe in yourself. And the third thing is, I something I firmly believe in all the teams that I've worked with is there is nothing called the best, because there is always way of making things better. Irrespective of how much you achieve in life, always strive for improvement, continuous improvement to make it better, and always try to see how you can be better version of yourself than yesterday. So these are three things that I think has been very close to my heart, that I've lived and has helped me to become who I am today.
Thank you very much. Actually, the takeaway from his how he became a member of a boardroom, there are two things: fashion and attitude. The students, we have to take that passion. So we should have a passion. And he also said three aspects: nothing is impossible, believe in yourself, and nothing is perfect. Right? So these are the three things that we can get it from him, how he has become, how he has paved the way for a leading career. Right? Thank you, Mendes. Thank you, Mr. Mendes. So now I'll go back to Mr. Rajit Pereira, who is the head of demand and supply planning at Nestle Lanka. So I would like to ask the same questions, but your industry is different and your roles are different. So what are the key elements that helped yourself in making you in the journey from a classroom to boardroom?
Yeah, thank you for the question, and once again, thank you to the university, or Kotolawala Defence University, for giving me the opportunity to come and say a few words and engage in this event. So, in terms of, if I do a personal reflection, this is my 10th year as a supply chain professional. Now, I don't consider myself as a demand and supply planning person, or a sourcing or procurement person, or a logistics person. After all of this is supply chain. And as supply chain, our job also is to think end to end. And so I've started my career in procurement right after graduating from Morutu University as a chemical engineering graduate, bachelor's degree, and then did a few years there, 3 years there, and then after that I got the opportunity to spend 2 years in our global hub in Switzerland, and there I got to engage myself in the broader, let's say, broader sphere of the company. So that also kind of gave me the mindset that we are, maybe small fish in a big ocean, this mindset. And then I moved to factory to handle the supply chain team. And then I moved on to demand and supply planning. So if I do a quick reflection, and I think Nadun, you mentioned it in a different way, so allow me to mention it in another angle. So now, for me, my background was on engineering. Like, I was a chemical engineer. So when I started my career, I started with almost zero from a, let's say, knowledge perspective. So what kept me going, number one, was, I would say, and this is what I would tell all our aspiring undergraduates over here is to be curious and maintain this culture inside your head and the discipline of learning. Have that thirst and curiosity to learn. When I joined Nestle in sourcing, of course, my background in technical side really helped me to grow. But I knew that I had a lot to learn. So I started with asking a lot of questions from from the team that I was with at that time, with line managers, etc., etc. And I am grateful to the company also, to Nestle, because we also have this culture where we foster a lot of learning. So first point that I want to mention is have a passion to learn, right? Have a mindset to learn end to end, and be curious. And this would be the main thing. Second thing would be is that be okay with change. Be okay to take chances on yourself, on your career, as long as you have a certain goal in mind. Know that in that journey you will have, let's say, certain twists and turns, but believe in yourself and the team around you that they will take you to that journey, provided you have the right attitude towards things. And within the 10 years, I've moved very quickly from place to place, and each opportunity I stepped into it with a lot of unknown in it, when I had to move to a different country and all of that. So when it's always easy to stay within a comfort zone, so be okay to go out of that comfort zone. This would be the second thing. And the third thing that I wanted to finally say, and it's kind of related to the second thing also, is well, it worked for me, is also that don't also say no to opportunities. And you might find a lot of excuses to say no. But there's a nice proverb, right, in English that says, don't look at a gift horse in the mouth. So don't look at the negative side of it. Understand that as long as it doesn't kill you, it will make you stronger. So have that mindset, and I think when you start your career, you are about to start your professional career. And for me, these type of small things worked. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Pereira. So this gives a different perspective, right? So what the things that we can learn as students is, he has started from a different background, but has come to another background and has become a leading person. So for you students, now if you are specializing in logistics, so don't think that logistics could be only the way. You can shift into HR and you can become a big boss. So it's a good example can be taken from Mr. Rajit Pereira. And also saying that don't say no. So number of no's in your life also matters a lot. Number of no's, right? And let's take things in a positive manner. Right? While thanking Mr. Rajit Pereira, I'm coming back to Mr. Nisal, whom our students may be little eagerly waiting, because he's from our own department. We have taught him, and he knows how we teach, and he knows what has happened in our university. Now, let's listen from him. He is now a business analyst at Fritoscope, and so he has worked in Expo Langa for a longer period. And let's listen from him, Mr. Nisal. How was your journey? How was your journey, and what was your pivotal milestones, and what made you to become such a leading position? And also, you might know our context. Now, we generally work from 8 to 2:30 lectures, but your field is not on that. I also know from the shipping industry, you work round the clock logistics. So kindly advise our students on how we can work around the clock. Yeah, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Sharik, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm privileged to be here after almost 8 years. So the kickoff of my career, it started with the Logistics magazine. It can be connected to the Logistics magazine. So we had an interview with the founder of Expo Lanka Holdings, Mr. Hanif Yusuf. So we were on the KDU uniform. That's actually the first time I think the industry saw the KDU uniform also. They were scared whether we were pilots or coming into the logistics industry. So then they offered us an internship opportunity. So from the magazine itself, we got two internship opportunities. So myself and a friend of mine, so we joined Expo Lanka as interns. So for 6 months we were there as interns, and then both of us were selected for their management training program, where we were trained within all departments of the company. So that's ranging from sea freight to air freight, to custom brokerage, to warehousing, to all these departments we were trained. And we were asked to select a department which we like to work on. So I selected customer solutions and sales. But at that time, there was no vacancy in sales, so they put me into customer service. So there I got a wonderful experience where I worked with a lot of renowned companies within the industry, apparel companies, manufacturing companies, FMCG, so ranging traders to different companies. So that exposure helped me a lot. And also there was this vacancy opening up in the sales department where the head of sales wanted a person to analyze their sales data and to streamline the sales processes and to give more feedback of the sales team's performance. So then this vacancy of internal sales came up and I was selected for that. So then I worked in internal sales for around 1 year, and then I was working frequently with the sales team, and I found out that I had a passion for sales. So this connects, Nadun, to what you told. So I found out that I had a passion of meeting new clients and getting new businesses on board. So there's actually another point where we say when you have a logistics degree that you only have to do logistics. But it's not the case. You can have the base in logistics, but you can follow your passion, like what I did. My base was freight forwarding, but I followed sales. So then I was doing that for 4 years. Then I realized that the industry is changing in a very fast pace. This was after COVID. I realized that customers are now looking on to new tools, new IT solutions. So that's where I realized, okay, so now I've been here in EFL for 7 years. It was my comfort zone. Connects back to you, Rajit. So I wanted to get out of my comfort zone and to follow the industry trends, which is the future, this digital freight forwarding. So then that's where I got the opportunity to join Freightoscope. So Freightoscope is a software company which provides solutions for the logistics and the freight forwarding industry. So I'm currently working there as a business analyst. And to answer your question, Mr. Sharik, so the knowledge and the skills what I gained was, if you take the skills, it's actually the positive attitude which I had, and also the never ending learning. I always like to learn new things because I have switched roles very quickly within my career. So that was one point, and the other point was communication, because in logistics, the main skill you should have is communication, because it's all about moving one shipment from a place to another. So communication matters a lot. So as you told Mr. Sharik, it's right. Logistics is it's not a 8 to 5 job. It's around the clock, because we deal with the international markets, with the international trade. So it's coming into logistics. You'll have to work a bit harder But if you have that passion for it, you will succeed. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Nisal. So he also confirms the need for the passion. So students, passion is said to be the characteristics of a leader, and it is confirmed by all three panelists. So all should have a passion in our life, right? The word passion is so important. And then some new elements that you were talking is thirst to learn, thirst to learn. So that is why he is switching to another industry. So he has been in freight forwarding industry. So he feels that he has learned the sufficient amount, but the industry trends are moving. So he's also trying to change into the what. And the third one, very important one for students, the communications, the art of communications, right? So as he verifies, the art of communication is said to be a leading and challenging ability for a logisticians, right? The second round, I'm going to be a little technical, and my question is going to be very technical in your respective field, So I'll come back again to Mr. Nadun Mendes. So right now, in terms of this global sourcing, in terms of this typical global sourcing, what are the requisites for our students or any person who is now in the industry to catch up? One. The second thing is, what are the future trends coming up in this particular global sourcings? And the third is, now in terms of global sourcing, there are many international contexts such as wars, pandemic, disasters. How these international contexts will hamper the global sourcing? Thank you.
So, Mr. Arik, there were three questions that you asked on the prerequisites, then the trends and the risks. So I start off on the first one. I think when you talk about global sourcing, there are several, and it's extremely important, as I mentioned earlier as well. Supply chain has become the key backbone of a company since very recently. That importance is much more than earlier. And there are several key characteristics that you need to build over time in your organization. One is actually building a very capable and resilient supply ecosystem. It's not the biggest, it's not the strongest supply chain, it's the resiliency that is really needed. The flexibility being offered by your vendors and ability to deliver something quickly and ability to change quickly has been a extremely important characteristics in the recent past. And something that we do is, like, I work in the apparel sector, so for all the raw material, we have the fabrics, lace, elastics, bra cups, accessories, packaging. For every single category, we have a pool of key strategic vendors that we've identified. And we have mapped them from who's the best in terms of cost, who's best in terms of innovation, who's best in terms of sustainability. So you need to have that ecosystem in place so that you can pick and choose which supplier that is required to offer the right value proposition to the brands. And the second very important thing is actually building strategic relationships with your vendors, partnerships with your vendors rather than more transactional engagements. I think this is really important. MAZ is actually renowned in building the right partnerships with the right entities and organizations, because that has really helped us grow. Rather than building all the competency within yourself, you engage with the right partner who can support and co-create product, technology, and offer that value proposition to the brand. So it's really important you build these strategic supplier relationships with the right vendors. And the other important thing is supplier relationship management and performance management. This is extremely important as well on a continuous basis. Sometimes we see that only at the year end you look at who the suppliers are having issues and you're trying to monitor performance. So we have a scorecard in 4 different aspects, from a financial, sustainability, innovation, and so on and so forth. And that is a continuous process where you monitor, evaluate, and give the right feedback to the vendors at the right time. So you work with them in developing them and overcoming these problems. So it's really important as well. One other thing is the digital transformation. I think this is also a very important one. And these are not in any order because all of these are important and actually a part of the puzzle. Digital transformation is really important because the world is changing so rapidly. And if you don't adapt to those changes, you'll be left out. Because staying at one place doesn't make any sense because the world will move on and you'll probably be left out. So embracing the new technologies is a key element. Having the right tools, right digital tools, to source to contract tools, procurement to pay tools, then your e-auction tools, all of those are really important for you all to succeed and use your workforce more efficiently. So that the workforce doesn't spend time on doing just day-to-day stuff, they make time on decision making. Last but not least, I'll mention one more thing which is on risk management. I think it links to your third question as well, especially when you look at the wars, the global pandemic. The thing is you can't control any of those, right? You can't control the war in Ukraine and the Israel-Palestine wars or the pandemic. You can't control any of these. But the important thing is that you be ready. You have a way of identifying these a little early and be ready. Now, even when the Sri Lanka economic crisis happened, when the fuel shortages happened, we were able to identify that early and bring in mitigation plans in so that we didn't have a single fuel shortage in our plants. So it's really important that you have this right forecasting mechanism in place and build the risk mitigating strategies to face those. And even when the pandemic happened, what we did was we profiled all our suppliers from the different regions because China was very much impacted at one point. So we profiled everyone on a red, green, yellow, amber chart, and we knew which suppliers had the impact. And we also developed dual sourcing strategies. How can we, and for us, dual sourcing is really difficult. It's not easy. You can't source the exact same fabric from two different suppliers. Very difficult, but we had to develop these strategies at the right time when it was needed. So developing these risk mitigation strategies is also very important. So I'll move to your second question on the trends that we see. I think we live in a VUCA world filled with volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And there is so much of changes happening in this world. And I was reading a McKinsey article where they talk about the top 10 global trends in the world for 2024. And the number one trend that they have reflected is that the world is moving towards a fragmented future. The world is getting more and more complex, more and more fragmented. And I'll give an example. What I mean about it is, if I actually take apparel as an example, apparel was controlled about 7-8 years back by key mega brands, key giants in the industries like the worlds of Nike's to Victoria's Secrets, Lululemon, and they were actually controlling and deciding on which styles to buy, which products to market, and which products to put in the retails. But now that world is completely changing where the consumers themselves are dictating terms. The consumers themselves are actually affecting buying patterns. The consumer needs and wants have significantly increased and they want customization. They want different aspects. They want new design. They want it now. If I want something, I just want it now. Even if I order online, I want it. I can't wait for 3 weeks. I can't wait for 2 weeks. So it's changing the entire landscape of sourcing and supply chain. Imagine earlier for a particular style, say we call it a style if it's a t-shirt or a bra or a panty, we call it a style. Earlier, one style would have like 50,000 pieces or 20,000 pieces, and say you have 100 styles per buy with 20,000 pieces per style. Now that 100 styles have gone out to about 1,000 styles. And the 20,000 pieces have come down to about 1,000 pieces per style. So imagine the complexity this is creating in the manufacturing, to the supply chain, to everywhere throughout the value chain. And So these are some of the trends that we see, and also one other trend that we see is a major focus on sustainability from all brands, and there's a very high focus, especially with the millennials, and their awareness of sustainability is great. Actually, I have 3 daughters, by the way. My second is 9 years old. So recently she came home and told me, Tati, my school, there's a school project we need to do on creating a green city. Okay, now I thought I have to teach her everything about what a green city is, because when I was 9 years old, I had no clue as to what the hell green city is. So then I asked her, uh, do you know what a green city is? She said, yes, Tati, I know it's about solar panels, and she was explaining it to me. Like, my God, the newer generation is so conscious and so much aware about sustainability, about green concepts, and this is actually driving the world to a total different area. We have, especially on apparel, we have consumers demanding that they want to know from which region the cotton was sourced from, which region the thread was sourced from, whether it was produced ethically or produced unethically, or it was produced through forced labor. So that's the level the consumers are going, and that is forcing the brands to act and give that to the consumers. So this is really changing the landscape. We are now actually getting into creating traceability and creating chain of custody throughout the value chain. It's not at all easy, but there is no choice. You have to get on it. And last but not least, another big trend is the digital brands. I suppose all of you all know about it. It's changing the entire game, where especially the newer generations, we don't need to now go to like 10 shops and try to figure out what works for you. Just go on phone and you just search a few online platforms, and you have enormous amount of options. So it's really again changing the buying patterns, and it's really affecting the mega brands as well. So these are some of the trends that I see that are really affecting, and if the companies are not ready to face these, and as I mentioned earlier, if you do what you did, you get what you got, you have to completely change the way you work, because what got you here won't get you there.
Yeah, so excellent explanations. I think students might have understood what are the new trends that you should be getting into, reading more, getting experience with, right? So it enlarged the typical skills and the trends and the requisite for in terms of global sourcing. Yeah. So I'll move to Mr. Rajit Pereira. The same type of questions, but in particular to your industry, right? What do you think that your industry, the prominent requisites right now, and what are the challenges, what are the future trends that you observe, and how we can tackle as our workforce ready for those?
Yeah, so if I talk about demand and supply planning, and then food and beverages supply chain as a general point, for us, we have evolved also in our mindset, and one of the main prerequisites that we've been considering for a while is the mindset to focus on the moment of truth, is what we call it. Our moment of truth, the reason why we exist, or why we serve as Nestle or as food manufacturer, is to make sure that any consumer, when they walk into a shop, or like a supermarket or a grocery store, or some distant rural shop, is when they reach out for a product, that our product is available. So how do we build this? How do we win this moment of truth? How do we have this mindset to think about the customer first? And I mean, we are all supply chain, and sometimes we tend to be only supply chain. If if I explain myself properly. We think about our supply chain KPIs, but ultimately we are all serving a consumer. It's true for apparel, it's true for the food, it's true for logistic services, for anything. So this customer-centric mindset is now for us a fundamental prerequisite for us at Nestle, for us as a team. So when you are in demand and supply planning, essentially we think about the customer KPIs first. We talk customer and business first, and then we talk supply chain. So inculcating that mindset in the team is for us in our routines is a fundamental prerequisite, because whatever said and done, everything that we are here to do, all the reviews we do, all the meetings, KPIs, we can talk for hours and hours, but fundamentally why we exist and what our fundamental purpose as a company and our values and everything are driven by it is to know that to be available, to make our products available to our consumers, whether it's an infant formula product or a cup of noodles or any other milk powders or things like that. Now, if I talk a bit more technical now, second one I would like to establish more is, in demand and supply planning, it's absolutely essential for you to have an effective monthly business planning process, a business planning process. I mean, different companies have different terms for it. Some people call it MBP, others call it SNOP. I mean, we have all these different terms. So managing this monthly business planning process, where all stakeholders sit together at different forums. We first start with the sales forecast, and then we move to understand whether you have any gap versus your annual target, if I say it like that. And then finally, let's say, do we have the capacity and the sourcing, supply, etc., to make it available? And this cycle, we call it MBP in our terminology. Running this cycle, especially in the VUCA world that Nadun was talking, it's absolutely critical. So having that effective meeting structure, not just meetings, but having that effective business planning process in place is absolutely critical for us. And making sure that you move from one step to another with the best practice established. And this is a prerequisite for us to exist, to make sure that we neither have aging products on the shelf, nor do we leave the shelf out of stock. It's a fundamental frustration for a consumer to walk in and not have the product that they want. It's also a frustration for the consumer to know that if my product is expiring, let's say in 2 weeks' time, when the shelf life that I have given is, let's say, 1 year or 10 months or whatever. So running that process. And the final, I would say, prerequisite is to have an effective, let's say, operational reviews in place at a daily, weekly and monthly level to focus, to know what your key KPIs are, what are your objectives and so on, and to have those routines to understand risks early, trigger risks early, whether it's material out of stocks related to sourcing, or whether we have logistics issues, or whether we have our volatility and uncertainty in demand, which we have. So how do you navigate yourself through this is to have these effective tools and technologies in process. Now, trends, it's also related to how do you enable those prerequisites. So obviously digital, we are moving more and more into e-tools now. The sourcing community, I would say, is now more ahead on that. If I look at the department, unit by unit areas in the supply chain industry, now the same is already there in demand and supply planning also. So whether it's different types of forecasting tools to make your forecast more, I would say, resilient and robust, because there's no magic tool to make 100% accurate forecasts. I mean, this reality we have to be very clear as a supply chain community. If our stakeholders are expecting a 100% accurate forecast, that statement itself is contradicting, because a forecast is called a forecast because it has a certain degree of error. So having these digital tools is helping us, whether it be SaaS or other different types of tools, and embracing these tools is an emerging trend. And the faster you embrace it, you don't have to embrace it for the sake of embracing. It should not be just a cliche, but does it have the right fit in your organization in terms of it meeting your supply chain strategy? Then that supply chain strategy should be there to enable your business strategy. So having these digital tools in forecasting as well as in the other areas in demand and supply planning. Look, I mean, after that, it's all about how you execute, how do you execute these, how do you embrace these trends and execute them.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Pereira. So it gave a different perspective. So you were targeting on this customer-centric. Again, he's confirming with performance evaluations and digital era. Right, thank you. So I'll come back to Mr. Nisal. So your industry is different. This different to others. They are more into product. You are into service. So what are the current requisites and trends, and also how we can get ready?
Thank you, Dr. Sarik. So I was having a chat with one of our seniors around 1 month ago, and he told me around 10 to 15 years back, logistics, there was innovation coming, but it was not at this pace. It was very slow. So one of the reasons for that was employees at that time, when a new technology or some innovation was made, they would think, okay, this would lose my job. But now it's not the case. If someone founds a new technology or innovation, now the mindset is, okay, so this new innovation or new technology has been found, so it will reduce my workload and I could focus on another productive task, a more productive task that would develop me as a person. So that's the mindset right now in the industry. Even in the freight forwarding industry, it's the same thing. So because of that, there's a lot of innovations which have brought into the industry. So things like RPA, robotic process automation, that actually we got it from the apparel industry in Adun. So these were like, you know, earlier days when Excel of so much of data is given, you have to put it into a software, but now we don't do that. Now there are applications called RPAs, robotic process automation, where we can feed the application of what we want to do. So that application will feed that data into the Excel or to the software. So industry has changed now, and also there are APIs coming in. So this technology of API will change the logistics industry drastically, because what it does is it connects several systems together. So in my industry, freight forwarding industry, what we practice right now is if a customer calls and tells, hey, there's an inquiry to move from Shanghai to Colombo, we will check it from the shipping lines or airlines by calling them or by going through their websites. That's how it's done now. But when you get APIs connected, it's all connected in one platform. So you don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to call anyone, it's all there, it's all visible. So the future is our systems will get connected to shipping lines and airlines, and the freight forwarder systems will get connected to the manufacturers or the companies. So that's the future the industry is heading. So in that line, communications will reduce, and there will be effective communication. So that's one thing. And there's AI is a buzzword right now. So there are companies like Too Simple, Aurora, which has come up with autonomous trucks. That's in US, but they are still developing that innovation. So there are innovations like that which have come up, and there are automated port terminals in the world right now. There's one port in Denmark and one port in China. So you can see where the industry is heading. It's changing drastically, And like Nadun said, if you don't adapt to this change and if you don't see what's coming ahead, you will get redundant within the industry. So it's very important to learn about these new things and adapt to yourself.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nizal. So it gives a lot of impacts for our students also. Now, some students might be happy in hearing to use AI. So nowadays, our students are also using high amount of AI. But if they can use that AI in a very ethical manner, as you say, it also gives a lot of inputs rather than doing it in an unethical manner. But as he says, without AI, we will become redundant. So that statement also to be taken into consideration. Right. So even though the third round is scheduled for 4 minutes, but the organizers is alarming me to finish it up early. So we will have a quick 1 minute for each one. So as industry professionals, what is you might have been working with the graduates developed through in our universities. So, and what is your perception on how best our university system can be part of you? 1 minute.
Yeah. So I'll try to be fast. So I think it's a very important point, even from a industry perspective. It's really important to have the right people being developed in that right manner. Few things that we can do, Sharik, is one is as we all shared, there's huge amount of change that is happening in the world in very rapid format. So I think even from a university perspective, the curriculum that we have, I think needs to change and adapt. Otherwise, we will be learning things that were problems 10 years back. We need to understand what the real life problems are and make our students ready. So in order to do that, you can actually link up with the industry experts in adjusting, adapting, changing your curriculum on a continuous basis. And students, very sorry about it, your curriculum has to change soon, sooner than later. Otherwise, you will be learning things which are very redundant and very old. One other thing that you can do is have guest lectures. I think you all are doing some of these things which are really great. Guest lectures and professionals coming in and sharing their knowledge, and internship programs on a continuous basis where you give the students the opportunity to get that practical knowledge. And maybe things like advisory boards, where for certain decisions, not for everything, certain related decisions, you can call in certain professional experts to get their thoughts, get their knowledge as to, from a world's perspective, how things are changing. What can you advise so that you all can make better informed decisions? So those are some things in very short. I don't know whether I spend more than 1 minute, but to share that with you. Thanks.
Mr. Pereira, over to you. Yeah.
Yeah, so just to complement also, right? Supply chain is all about how we communicate effectively. So we speak the importance of communication a number of times. So you can't overstate it. So I will also say even more emphasis on being able to be impactful in communication. So soft skills, as undergraduate, you don't need to wait for the university to provide these for you. These are all available. You have many clubs and things like that. So engage yourself in them. What we see are whoever who is strong in communication, in able to communicate a message effectively, emerge very fast as very good talent, you know. So having that capability is very important. So I really encourage all of you all to spend more time, invest more time in becoming good, in becoming skilled in communicating, the art of communicating messages effectively. And it's also about, supply chain is also about being able to influence the end-to-end, influence your stakeholders in doing things. When you have volatility coming in, we have to put a scenario in place to manage it, be it Red Sea that we spoke of, or even China, the trade, the shipping situation that we have right now. All of this requires us to think ahead and anticipate. And when you anticipate and put something in place, it's about how well you tell that story and communicate. So I really encourage that also, and also more mentoring opportunities if y'all can do and engage. I know many universities are giving those opportunities because any future ready undergraduate, the moment they enter the industry, there will be a small, let's say, gap in till they, to fully integrate. So this gap can always be reduced by having more mentoring programs. It doesn't have to be your normal industrial training program. It's meeting someone every once in 2 weeks, talking 30 minutes, whatever. So just 2-3 more things.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Pereira. Mr. Nishal, what do you?
So, Dr. Sharik, so one thing is giving the graduates with the right connections before you leave the university. So, for example, in my case, before I left university, I through the logistics day and through the other events we had, I got connected with Mr. Rohan Masukorala, Ms. Gayane Dialvis, Mr. Hanif Yusuf. So those are like industry icons. There are a lot of other people. So having those connections gave a competitive advantage for me when I joined my previous company. So that's one. So the other thing is, as both of our panelists say, the importance of soft skill. So how you do a presentation. When you do a presentation, how do you do it to a senior management and how do you do it to a middle management? Then email management, it's very important because when you're in the logistics industry, in average you get around 200 to 300 emails per day. So how you manage it and also how you reply to that. I think that gives a lot of impression on that employee also. Like I'll just take a few minutes, Dr. Sharik. So for example, if you say, if I get an email, no, if I send you an email on a Monday morning saying, "Dear Dr. Sharik, did you review the report I sent?" That's one scenario. Or if I say, "Dear Dr. Sharik, I hope you had a great weekend. I'm just writing this email to follow up on the report I sent you." The second scenario, you'll have a more impression. So that matters a lot. That soft skill matters a lot. And the third thing I want to say is giving the graduates the idea of the whole spectrum of the supply chain avenues available within the industry. So you can work in a 3PL company, freight forwarding, ocean and air carriers, IT companies. There are a range of avenues available. And if you can get an industry professional from one of those industries and have a brainstorming session. I know KDU does this currently, so that would benefit the graduates a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, the panelists. It gave a very good understanding about what you feel and how we can do from our side to cope up with you, right? So thank you. So I'll thank you very much for coming to our KDU Logistics Day 2024 and enlightening with many aspects. I hope that our students would have got many interesting elements from this. So over to you, students. Now, so we ask from them how they become big bosses, and we also ask what are the requisites for the right now survival, and what are the future trends, and also now we have asked how we can cope up with them. So it's over to you to think whether are you all ready. Right? Thank you. Thank you very much. So we have a few minutes. If you have any questions from the audience, we'll take maximum of 2 questions. Over to you. Yeah, anybody who want to become a boardroom member? So we like to see a lot of people from our universities become a big bosses. So kindly ask some questions if you have. Okay, yeah, please, go ahead.
Thank you for that informative session. And first and foremost, I am not from a logistical background. My only experience with regard to logistics is bringing household stuff to my home to providing daily essentials. So nowadays we observe this AI has a lot of influence in every industry. So as logisticians, what are the possibilities, what are the things that students should do to avoid getting replaced by things like AI? I'd like to know your views.
Anybody? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that question. So one thing I think you all should realize is AI, to a certain extent, it will replace, but it won't replace the analytical mindset that people have. So if you focus more on developing that side of it, problem solving, and stay away from tasks like the monotonous tasks which AI could replace, and also you should focus more on these analytical things. So you can develop your skills in more like tools like Power BI, Tabular. So those visualization tools, those analytical tools will give you an advantage, a competitive advantage ahead for you to be relevant within the industry.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Nisal. Any questions? One more question. Okay, thank you. So we don't have much questions. So two things are possible. One is 100% understood, or vice versa. So we don't expect the vice versa, the 100% accepted. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you for the audience and thank you for the panelists. Thank you very much.
We have now come to a moment that we all have been waiting for. The announcement of the grand winners of KDU Logistic Times Magazine Article Competition 2024. The article competition was carried out in two categories, which is the undergraduate category and the open invitation category. I should say that the selection process was carried out impartially as blind review.
To announce the winners, I would like to invite Senior Lecturer of Department of Management and Finance, Mrs. I.D. Vattuheva. To give away the awards, we would like to invite the Vice Chancellor, Rear Admiral HGU Dhammika Kumara, accompanied by Dean of Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities, Dr. Lakshika Liyanage, and the Head of the Department of Management and Finance, Dr. Upali Rajapaksha.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So I think everybody is waiting for this occasion because this is the article writers. It is an open category. So then there are main places. The third place goes to BHD Kure, one of our former student from Intech 37. She did BSc Management and Technical Sciences, currently working in KPMG Associate Consultant. So I think it already evidenced today's theme of the day too. Right, the next, second place goes to Dilakshan Vishwaradhan, undergraduate BSc Honors in Transport Management and Logistic Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, University of Moratuvar. Finally, we are witnessing now, first place goes to YKP Jayodhya, undergraduate BSc Hans in Transport Management and Logistics Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, University of Moratuvar. You all can read these articles already available in the Logistics magazine too. Thank you.
Sir, I would like to kindly request you to remain on stage to give away the tokens of appreciation to our guest speaker and the members of the panel discussion.
We would like to invite on stage our panelists, Mr. Nadun Mendis, Mr. Rajita Pereira, Mr. Nisal Vijayratnan, and our moderator, Dr. A.H.S. Sharik.
So please remain on stage once more. Now I would like to invite the President of Technical Sciences and Management Society, Sweta Costa, to give away the token of appreciation to the Vice Chancellor. Thank you, sir. It starts with a dream. Add faith, it becomes a belief. Add action, and it becomes a part of life. So this dream of ours wouldn't have come true if not for the utmost support of various individuals. This invitation goes out to the Vice President of Technical Sciences and Management Society, Sarandu Sihasara, to extend our heartiest gratitude to all those who supported.
Rear Admiral SGU Dhammika Kumara, the Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kottala Defence University, Guest of Honour, Mr. Nadun Mendis, Director of Group Sourcing and Supply Chain, MAS Capital, Major General C.A. Vikramasinghe, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Defence and Administration, Professor K.A.S. Dhammika, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, Panelists, Deans of Faculties, Heads of the Departments, Academia, military officers, invitees, and students. Very good evening to all of you. It has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful event. As the Vice President of Technical Sciences and Management Society, I am privileged to extend our attitude of gratitude by proposing this vote of thanks. First of all, it is with a deep sense of gratitude we thank the Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kottala Defence University, Rear Admiral HGU Dhammika Kumara, for guiding us and for his continuous support in this Logistics Day 2024. This event would not have been a success without your valuable guidance, sir. I should also express my heartfelt gratitude to Deputy Vice Chancellor, Defence and Administration, Major General C.A. Vikramasinghe for his support from the beginning, and Professor K.A.S. Dhammika, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academics, for your guidance throughout the Logistics Day 2024. Special thanks goes out to Mr. Nadun Mendis, Director, Group Sourcing and Supply Chain, MAS Capital, for his distinguished presence as the guest of honor. Many thanks to Dr. Sabin Sarek for moderating the panel discussion. And additionally, I am thankful for the panelists, Mr. Nadun Mendis, Mr. Rajit Pereira, and Mr. Nisal Vijayaratne. I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our sincere thanks to our sponsors for your contribution in KDU Logistics Day 2024, despite the challenging situation at the present time. We appreciate your financial assistance, which ultimately helped us to launch our 9th edition of Logistics Times magazine and organize this event at this level. MAS Holdings as the platinum sponsor, Nestle Lanka as the gold sponsor, HIPG as the bronze sponsor, Yokohama TWS Lanka as the auxiliary sponsor for the gifts, Inci Cement. Once again, we thank all the companies and well-wishers for the constant support throughout this event. KDU Logistics Day 2024 wouldn't have been success without the continuous motivation and encouragement given by our two pillars. Dr. Lakshika Liyanage, Dean, Faculty of Management, Social Sciences and Humanities, and Dr. Upali Rajapaksa, Head of the Department of Management and Finance. Your sense of understanding and immense support is highly appreciated. I must also thank the lecturers in charge of the Logistics Day, Mr. Anju Langasekara, Mr. Lahiru Gunatilaka, Mr. Arjuna Vishwanath. Senior Treasurer, Mrs. I.D. Wattuheva, and Advisory Board members, Dr. Namali Sirisoma and Dr. Kalpana Ambepitiya. And I would like to thank the Senior Assistant Registrar of FMSH, Mrs. Gayanika Silva, thanking all academic and non-academic staff, and also I extend my sincere gratitude to all the resource persons of the Logistics Science magazine for their enormous cooperation. On special note, I must express my heartfelt gratitude to the senior lecturers of the Department of Languages, Mrs. Chamila Kotalawale and Mrs. Tamara Kotalawale, for giving their unconditional support in this Logistics Science magazine. A special thanks goes to Dunal Bandulaheva, immediate past president, and Tehani Pereira, editor of the 8th edition of the Logistics Science magazine. An event like this cannot happen in overnight. I am very fortunate enough to be supported by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues. The Executive Committee, Board of Directors, Editorial Committee, the other committee heads, they should be proud of themselves because this event is their achievement. Lastly, I want to extend my sincere gratitude to everyone who has supported throughout this journey. Thank you all for being a part of this incredible experience. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant evening.
Thank you, Sarindu.
Once in a while, someone comes along and changes everything. At MAS, anyone can be that someone. We're a worldwide family of thousands, all striving towards one goal. Striving for better in all we do. To be the change makers. Now, it may not look like much, but this is how it all began. A thread that creates change for better, enabling dreams and enriching the fabric of life. Carrying the values of our founders, it is woven through everything we do. From world-class design and craft to world-class innovation. A thread that grows stronger with each new employee, weaving together new ideas and fresh outlooks. The fabric of a brighter future with ambitious minds. Helping us achieve growth and transformation. A thread that enables communities and environments to thrive. A thread that runs through every single one of us at MAS. We are change makers. We will be defined not by our words, but by what we do. Through the choices we make and the people we inspire. Providing opportunities for everybody, woven into the fabric of life. It all starts with you.
Why MAS, you ask?
Well, because here at MAS, you do not just follow a career path, but forge ahead on the journey of life itself. We seize opportunities that span the globe
across a multitude of disciplines.
Here, you grow as a person
and as a professional.
You reap the benefits of the rewards that are linked to your performance on the job.
and the value you bring to MAS.
Here, you will find the elusive balance between work and life. This is where your passions are ignited.
Your talents amplified, and your family and friends are not sacrificed.
Here at MAS, we are recognized as one of the region's most innovative organizations.
One of the best places in the world to work for innovators.
Creative and progressive.
Our future-fluent group of companies has grown in the face of unimaginable challenges.
Thanks to our global presence
and our inspired, passionate people.
Here at MAS, our diverse teams are inclusive and as socially responsible as you.
And like you, we believe in driving change,
Crafting our destiny
and enriching the fabric of life on our planet.
You are,
and together
we are
change makers.
You don't just join MAS, you live MAS.
Sri Lanka is a land like no other. It's a space for family, a base for futures, a haven for nature. It's our home and it's provided us with so much, which is why we at Nestle come together to protect and uplift it in every way, on every single day. It starts with being there for our families. With the nation facing micronutrient deficiencies, we are leveraging our portfolio that spans from birth to old age to provide 537 million servings of fortified products. And due to the high prevalence of non-communicable disease, we are inspiring 3.5 million people on nutrition and healthy lifestyles through our Nestle Family Club, and encouraging thousands more through our Nutri-Corners, Nestle Healthy Kids, and sponsored sporting events. It continues to nurturing our communities. With over a quarter of Sri Lanka's workforce heavily reliant on the agricultural sector, we are supporting the livelihoods of rural dairy farmers through procurement worth 4.3 billion rupees, and local coconut farmers with procurement worth 5 billion rupees. We also empower the rural community through the Nestle Coconut Plan, offering home grows free hybrid plantlets and training. And when our country faced multiple crises that stole years from the younger generation, we are giving our youth access to learnings, engagements, and opportunities through Nestle Needs Youth, whilst also enhancing employability through our professional trainee programs. And then it leads to stewarding resources for our future. We are one of the pioneers to work towards reaching net zero from farm to end of shelf life. When it comes to sourcing, we were the first to conduct the carbon footprint verification from the Sri Lanka Climate Fund for both our dairy and coconut value chains. Our teams work closely with our dairy farmers on getting the best output to increase yield per cow whilst adopting regenerative farming practices. We are also working with the Coconut Research Institute and Coconut Cultivation Board to introduce regenerative agricultural practices for our coconut farms. We are also prioritizing energy-efficient logistics, improving our vehicle fill rate, optimizing route networks, and trialing alternate transportation methods. And when the rest of the island still runs on energy from fossil fuels, we are proud to be utilizing 100% renewable electricity for our manufacturing. Whilst adopting greener manufacturing practices, we have also invested in a biomass boiler to significantly reduce our energy consumption. Supported further through our packaging initiatives to promote a circular economy, we pioneered the shift from plastic to paper straws. We are reducing the use of virgin plastics and making progress in ensuring that our packaging is designed for recycling. We also helped set up Sri Lanka's first recycling plant for aseptic beverage cartons and partnered with Chakrasutra, Insay EcoCycle and Eco Maximus to accelerate the collection of our Tetra Paks. But it doesn't end there. To inspire island-wide behavioral change, we are collaborating with the Ministry of Education and Central Environment Authority on the School Waste Management Program, reaching 750,000 children across 1,000 schools. While this is a journey that has always been about doing good, the recognition we've earned along the way shows us that we've been doing good right. We've consistently been the #1 food and beverage company in Sri Lanka and have been awarded by numerous forums and panels for the work we've done. There is no end to this journey, no ultimate goal, no stopping point. We won't always be perfect, and we know there will be more challenges ahead. But this is how we will keep going, with an unwavering commitment to bettering our country. Because we are Nestle, and this is our Sri Lanka. My Nestle, my Sri Lanka.
Let us now pay respect and homage to our motherland. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
Sri Lanka Mata, Upper Sri Lanka, Namo, 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 Namo Mata. Sundara Sitarini, Surani Ati Sobhamana Lanka. Ranya Ganaya Mekamal Valatulu Piri Jaya Bhumi Ranya. Apamata Sapa Siri Seta Sadhana, Jivana Mata. Pilihanu Mena Apabhakti Puja, Namo Namo Mata. Upper Sri Lanka, Namo, 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 Namo Mata. Upave Apavidya, Upamaya Apasatya, Upave Apashanti, Apahagatula Bhakti.
And just like that, we dreamed, we believed, and we made it a success. Here we are at the end of the KDU Logistics Day 2024.
Thank you very much for spending your valuable time with us today. Even despite your busy schedules, hoping you had an insightful evening. We bid you goodbye, reminding you to stay safe.
Thank you all. And this announcement goes to all of you. Now y'all can enjoy the refreshments that has been arranged in the lobby area. Thank you.